Hello everyone. So today I have a very familiar face for those of you guys who follow me. This is the 1997 Ford Expedition. It actually just got out of the shop today, and I wanted to go ahead and just discuss a few updates with it, as it's been a long time since this vehicle's been on the channel. And with that, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So, of course, many of you know that when the vehicle was purchased, it did actually need to have the engine rebuilt because it did have that issue with the spark plug burning oil situation. And this is the 5.4 liter Triton V8. This is the original Expedition engine before they even did the horsepower update for 99. So in that case, it is you know, the first engine on this vehicle, and it did have to have the top half rebuilt. But other than that, in terms of the engine mechanics, this thing has had no issues since then. Additionally, with that, the transmission is still original on this vehicle. It's a 4-speed automatic transmission. It does do the lockup of the torque converter in third gear, and it does have an overdrive button on the gear shifter, which will of course help with towing if you do need that lower ratio. When it comes down to the other aspects of the vehicle, the suspension has had some work, but not a significant amount in terms of the differentials needing to be essentially kept from leaking. And also with that, one major thing that happened with it was the air conditioner compressor seized, which caused the belt to fall off. That was a long time ago though, however. There haven't been any issues since then, and all it does is really make a howl with the new compressor when it's turning, but otherwise it's been a fine vehicle. It actually isn't necessarily ready for retirement yet. I mean, it's not collecting a pension anytime soon. But with that, it's not something that we're going to be driving a significant amount, at least for family events. The 21 Ascent that we have has kind of become the new family hauler just because it's lower to the ground, and with that, we don't necessarily want the family climbing Mount Everest to get into the car. Just people are starting to get older, so we need to account for that. But with that, overall, it's held up really nicely. It's actually going to be a daily driver for a little while. My sister's car is currently in the middle of the ocean, and so it's on the way back to the States, but she's not going to have it for about a month or two while she's here. So she's taking the red Charger, and then my stepfather will be driving this vehicle. So it's behaving pretty nicely. I am hearing some tire feedback, but I reckon they probably didn't fill up the tires, which, you know, is very common because this vehicle is kind of neglected. But I'll check on the tires, I guess, or something like that, or just fill them up. But otherwise, it's fine. What it had done today was the engine and transmission services, an oil change, and then they changed the fluid in the gearbox. I'm hoping that does help with an intermittent issue that has been happening with this truck. The transmission tends to get stuck in first gear when the temperatures are really hot. And so in this respect, any other temperature, however, below that, of course, is it operates normally. Fuel economy on this is terrible. We have to expect that. This is the 4-wheel drive model and the Eddie Bauer trim. Transfer case, we've actually really not used it. I've only engaged the 4-wheel drive, I think, once, and it was by accident. I don't know how I did it, honestly, but I just did. But basically, yeah, it hasn't really gone into 4-wheel drive in a while, but I assume it still works. Otherwise, though, everything else has been pretty self-explanatory. It behaves nicely. It's well versed in its manners. It behaves like a truck. It is a little bit noisy, and it does have a little bit of a rougher ride, but that's to be expected. And the interior on this thing is held up really nicely. This is a 27-year-old vehicle, and literally the interior is awesome in terms of how well it's held up. So I'm not really shocked that it does have this quality, because with that, it was handmade. You know, the older Expeditions were, at least. The only thing that is not working, and it's kind of important that it does, is the seat adjustment. On the driver's seat, it is a motorized system, and unfortunately, the motors are done. So the vehicle, the seat got stuck in a specific position that kind of worked for everybody. But my mom, she's really short, so she has a little bit of a hard time reaching the pedals. So I was like, I'll just go with you so we don't crash. But yeah, in this case, if she had to drive it, she still can. It's just, it's a little bit harder to reach the pedals. But yeah, I mean, it really hasn't been too bad with this vehicle. It's dirty as hell. I'm so sorry about that. But it's been pretty reliable. Make a few rattles and weird noises here and there, but it's 27 years of age. Like, that's a lot of time under its belt. So, I mean, in this case, we can't complain too much. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn the lights on here. And this still works, that still works. As you can see, yeah, there's dirt in the interior, but it's held up pretty nicely. And this will be a daily driver for a little bit. But yeah, it's a decent truck overall. I actually do like it. Triton V8s have proven themselves, even though, yes, they did have some issues in the past. And with that, you know, now their EcoBoost V6s are pretty powerful as well. So, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. I'm not gonna like yuck on somebody's yums, but I do like these older Fords. And it is just a comfortable vehicle. Like, despite it being a leather interior and it being cold outside, now granted, my cold in Las Vegas is like 40 degrees, okay? But like, still, it's cold for me. All of you Midwesters, I know that, or you Midwestern people, I know that it's like super warm for you guys when you hear of those temperatures, but you know, LOL, we got used to being spoiled here with hot weather. But, with that, I mean, it's a comfortable vehicle overall for its time. I mean, it has been, it was pretty technologically advanced. And what I love about this that this vehicle did not experience, which I'm really thankful for, is the dashboard didn't crack. Because a lot of times that does happen on Fords and also Chevys as well. The dashboards, the plastic cracks, and then it's like, it doesn't look nice. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. In terms of acceleration, I mean, it's not bad. It is a 4-speed automatic, so I mean, you know, it's not like it has a significant amount of torque and power right when you start up, but it is a V8, so I mean, the torque is pretty ready. It's just not as ready as, like, you know, now what vehicles are experiencing in terms of electric motors, also with that, you know, turbos, etc. Those torques are really available on a much broader spectrum. Overall, not bad. Easy to drive too. My sister used to drive this all the time. I mean, granted, she like drives like 5 tons now, but when she was first, you know, learning how to drive, this was really easy for her, so can't complain there. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's not bad. 27-year-old truck. So with that, folks, that's basically it when it comes to the Expedition. With that, I'm interested to see what they'll do about making these an electric powertrain. That'll be kind of interesting, if we're being honest. I don't know if Ford's going to do that with this particular model, or if they're going to introduce something like it. I know Lincoln and all the other ones, Buick as well, the luxury brands, are like, electric! But I don't know what they'll be doing about the Expedition powertrain. Granted, this is like a 27-year difference. I don't even know why I brought that up, but still, you know, it's one of those where I'm just kind of interested. Sorry the windshield's so dirty, but yeah, it needs a wash. But anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and let you go, but it was nice to be able to drive this vehicle again. I will talk to you guys soon. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. Yeah, thanks so much for watching.